just come back from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. I would have never imagined that I would be there, especially for business. But in this video, I want to break down how to spend 24 hours in Riyadh, because so many of you have slid into my DMs and asked me, 1, is it progressive? 2, what's it like for business? And 3, would you go back, especially as a woman? So I traveled to Riyadh from London Heathrow via Saudia Airlines, business class. It took about 7 hours and it was just lush. So I am inside the flight from London to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia for work. I've had the pleasure of flying business. I've flown quite a bit of business now in the last few years that I'm really happy about, but I would say that this experience has been one of the best. Great seats, very comfortable, good entertainment, no Wi-Fi, but it's not really something that I connect to when I'm out and about anyway. Really good food, both the selection and also the fact that you can order when you want and how much you like, so there's no set time to eat. So I've just been nibbling. I've watched 2 movies, and the final third of the flight I'm gonna nap so that when I land I am ready to go and venture around town. And I'm so excited. The only downside to the whole experience was that my plane took off around 10 a.m. from London Heathrow and it landed in Riyadh around 7 p.m. As soon as we landed, we went through this different immigration, got our stamp, went to this lounge, and we were just being served coffee and dates and food. And they really just wanted you to feel at home, which we definitely did, given it took about 2 hours to get our luggage. Finally made it to the Hilton in Riyadh. I have just got to Riyadh. We have checked in to the Hilton residences and have a view of the mall behind me, which I'm gonna go walk to just right now. And now I am here. I'm gonna go mingle, network, and get a vibe of the other speakers, because obviously I'm here for a conference. Have a little bit of a walk and then come back and have a good night. I was given a room on the 16th floor. I quite like high rooms because it comes with a view, and it definitely did have a view. A sofa with a lamp on the side. It has an office table to work with, a decent sized TV, a smart bathroom, and the view was of the Granada Mall. And interestingly, the malls there are open to like midnight. This is a good time to go to the mall and to go to the food court. Went to the food court in the mall, quite cost effective for anyone who's wondering. You can pay by card, so I took my Wise card, or you can pay by cash. And one thing I love about general Middle Eastern, Arabian, Asian culture is that things are just open till late and you can have such a great vibe. Day 1, I woke up and went to the gym to do some quick stretches and what yoga with Adrian says morning medicine. And now I'm off to breakfast before we head to the conference. It's going to be a really busy day. Meetings, events, I'm doing a fireside interview, and then off to the Saudi and British Embassy for a dinner. So let's take a step back. If you had 24 hours to spend, which is actually just what I had to enjoy in Riyadh, one night I went to the desert and dune experience and it was so amazing. So as soon as you enter, there was a camel. You got on this camel and the camel took you to the actual camp. All of the team members were locals who were very passionate about their local history and their local culture. And one of the senior staff members who was actually running the whole camp. And so he was able to give us a really good tour of how the Bedouins lived in the desert, everything from making fire to how they warmed up their food. I actually got to take a shovel and dig up the sand because the food was being cooked under the sand. It was a great experience. And then it came out and it was just chicken and vegetables, and that's how they steamed and warmed food back in the day. We also got to experience sandboarding for the first time. I'm gonna tell you now, it is harder than it looks online. So you'll see videos of me like just trying to get down, so they're epic fails, but in the end it definitely did work, but it took like 6 or 7 tries. We also walked up to the dunes and just sat there as the sun set, which was amazing and one of those magical moments, and it's the kind of like film romantic scenes that you see. We were then given a tour of the local history, the spices, the clothing, the culture. At dinner time, you sat on the ground with all of the other participants and you had this like epic meal. Another reason why I'd go back to Riyadh or, you know, Saudi Arabia generally is because they're so hospitable. They want to make sure that you not only feel welcome, but you feel like it's a part of your home. The second thing I would do if you have 24 hours in Riyadh is to go to Diriyah. So Diriyah is an ancient historical city that is in the center of Saudi Arabia. It's actually a UNESCO site and was established in 1446 AD. There's a ticket to enter Diriyah, but impressively, you can then use that ticket in the bars and restaurants and cafes that exist within the UNESCO site. They have several museums inside the Diriyah that you can visit, as well as tours that you can be a part of and some live workshop experiences. For example, they had this clay workshop where you could actually go and create ornaments out of clay, have the Diriyah stamp and take it home. In terms of the site, it is beautiful terracotta bricks. You have this UNESCO site. Just behind it, you have all of you just see the landscape full of buildings that are being constructed. And you see so many machines on top of buildings that are creating more buildings. And so it's a real interesting juxtaposition of history, the past and the present, and then what the future is to come. So that is one thing that I'd also recommend if you were to spend 24 hours in Riyadh. I was invited to interview the royal princess of Saudi Arabia, Princess Lamia, on the work she's doing in technology, AI, and tourism for her country, as well as meeting a handful of different individuals that are Saudi Arabian who were able to give me ideas of, if you were to come back or if you're going just for 24 hours, what should you be doing? What should you be seeing? You can watch the sunrise at the edge of the world, which is a cliff-like view on the border of Riyadh. You can have a traditional Saudi breakfast. As I mentioned, I had a traditional Saudi biryani, which was the kasbah, which was really nice. You can visit the UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is the Diriyah, located in the Al Tarif district. You can go to Riyadh's oldest mall, which is Talaba Souk, where you can pick up scarves and spices and learn from local trade. You can go to Najd Village, Najd. It has one of the oldest restaurants in Riyadh, and it serves local Najd cuisine, which is a lot of flavor, a lot of rice, a lot of meat. Definitely go and glimpse at the Royal Al Maraba Palace. It's the king's ancient palace, and it was built in the traditional Najdian style. And then you can go to the National Museum of Saudi Arabia, and then you can watch an auction at the Souk Al-Zal. There's a lot of inspiration from Islamic history and Islamic art and Islamic culture, and you can see that in the way that the palaces are made, the architecture. This is a different type of vlog because I didn't quite get to explore Riyadh in the way that I would have wanted, but I did get to take in some of the history, culture, and community. The Kingdom Saudi Arabia, they want you to come, they want to invest in your ideas and yourself, especially in your tech, and they want you to help them build it up to not only drive tourism, but to drive trade. And I met so many expats that mentioned that they weren't expecting themselves to stay. They liked the vibe and now they keep coming back. The question came up constantly, is it progressive for women? Yeah, I'm a woman and I can go to the mall until midnight and go out for a walk late night. And as long as you are respectful of your clothing, your attire, your general customs, which you should be wherever you go, it's all good for you. You don't need a man to travel with. You just need to make sure that you feel safe in the spaces in which you're traveling. And they are so warm that they want you to come. They want to greet you. They want to bring you in. They want to tell you about the space that they've created and their culture, and they're so proud of it. And they want you to go and tell somebody else, like I'm doing this vlog. And the second question is, would I visit again? Absolutely. And so in summary, it was a great experience from the get-go, from going on the plane to entering Riyadh. There is a lot of investment going into the infrastructure, the tourism industry, the more professional services and careers, which means that there's opportunities for growth, especially if you're looking at this from a, what does my next 5, 10, 15 years look like? Yes, you can go live, you can go work, you can go invest, and you can definitely grow. And if anything, they want women to come and work, and I saw so many women who were working. And apparently in Saudi Arabia, some businesses actually have quotas of how many women they want working, not just on like a marketing or HR position, but generally across the board and spectrum. The end of it, I appreciate this is longer than usual. Yeah, you should just live and enjoy it like a local. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. You can like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments. And hopefully we can grow through our travel thoughts together.